Hey everyone, the game is still loading. I apologize.
I
Um,
don't.
I'm behind today. Gonna, I'm just gonna sit here in our little void waiting for the game. Uh,
I punched it too hard. I'm sorry. It's my fault, probably.
go ahead and start doing the recap without the aid because might as well while we're waiting. Uh, this is Final Fantasy 16 and takes place in a world called Valisthea, which is like a more realistic depiction of fantasy. Think something along the lines of like Game of Thrones. Uh, we start our journey with Clive as a like teenager, and he is a bearer, which is somebody that has innate magical powers. He is sworn to protect his brother Joshua, who is the dominant of fire. Phoenix. When they head out, they immediately get attacked, and Joshua is killed by a second dominant of fire, Ifrit. And everybody's like, "What? Why is there another dominant of fire?" But we don't know. We just swear revenge and get forced into imperial servitude by our mother, who joins the empire, defecting from her own country and seemingly having sent the attack out in the first place. Later we learn that that's true, but I'm trying to keep it as chronological as possible. So now in imperial service years later, we are sent to kill the dominant of ice, Shiva. Turns out that that is our childhood friend Jill, so we refuse to do it. And kill off the rest of our Imperial troop instead. In doing so, we get the attention of Sid, who recruits us to his cause. He wants to free all the bearers, and branded people are bearers that are forced into servitude to be used as weapons until they turn into stone.
I like freeing the bears.
We are single-minded in our goal of trying to find Ifrit, so we keep going around and interact with Benedicta, the dominant of wind, who keeps impeding our progress. She is in love with Lord Kepka, the dominant of earth. Eventually we find out that the dominant of fire that killed Phoenix is ourselves. We fight and defeat Benedicta and are able to absorb her powers, which is also something that nobody has ever seen before from any individual, because Clive is special. We finally join Sid's cause more fully and head to one of the mother crystals, because Sid's whole goal is to get rid of the mother crystals and free the world of magic entirely, so that people stop the use of the mother crystals drains the world of its energy, and they want to make it so that things are, equal for everyone, which means, yes, a little bit harder work because there's no ease of use, but it also means longer, more sustainable future. In
No
doing
more oil.
in yes, in destroying that mother crystal, Sid is killed by an otherworldly entity named Ultima that comes through the other side. Ultima wants to use Clive's body as a vessel, and Joshua returns not actually being dead because he's the Phoenix, and contains Ultima within his own body to give Clive more chance to grow in power so that he can fight back against Ultima. We also gain Sid's power because, he's dying, so might as well take it while we still can.
Well, we didn't take it. He kind of like thrust it on us.
Yes, he forced it upon us. Then there's another time gap. Lord Kupka destroys our base before the time gap. Because he got sent Benedicta's head, supposedly by Sid. Still don't believe it, but the game's not like told us otherwise, so I guess Sid literally did do that. But yes, our base got destroyed, so there's another time gap. We built up a new base and started hunting after Lord Kupka. We got a word that we can go to a second Mother Crystal, and
Hooray!
in doing so, we start heading that way because that was the people that took Jill into custody, and Jill wants absolution for being forced to work for them and the horrible things that they were doing to children. We destroy a second Mother Crystal. Lord Kupka takes the opportunity to attack our hometown of Rosaria. We follow up and try to fend him off because even though we know it's a trap, and cut off Lord Kupka's hands and steal his powers, then we follow him to his hometown, which his domain, which also has a Mother Crystal. Defeat him, destroy the Mother Crystal. Then we have to then we head towards the Empire and their dominant Lord Dion, who is Bahamut. Joshua has been working behind the scenes to try and recruit Lord Dion to our cause as well. Well, no, not to the cause of freeing bears, but Joshua has been trying to inform people about Ultima and the larger threat. So Lord Dion knows about Ultima, and thinks that it is his younger half-brother, who is a child born of his father and our mother. So he intends to spear him, but his father jumps in the way, protecting the kid. Turns out Ultima was in the kid, and proceeds to force Bahamut to go into overdrive and start destroying everything. Same thing that happened with us initially and why we killed Phoenix. And so we get to there right as Bahamut is destroying everything, so we go and fight Bahamut, stop him, not kill him, but we do take his powers. And then there's only one major dominant left. Oh, we also destroyed the Mother Crystal in the Empire. There's only one major dominant left, which is the one, or at least that we know about, because I know there's another one in the DLC, but the dominant of darkness, which is Odin. We start going after him. He is way more powerful than us and keeps easily shrugging us off, but we chase after him, even though he's got the fastest ship, because we put engines on our ship thanks to Sid's daughter or granddaughter. I think it's granddaughter. I don't remember. Anyway, chase after him. He cuts the ocean in half. We fight him in the seabed. He still is way too powerful for us and shrugs us off. But we learn that the thesis of the game is authoritarianism versus freedom. And
real quick, sorry, I was muted. I'm pretty sure Mid is just his daughter.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which, but that would make sense because Sid is quite a bit younger in this game than is in most of them.
Yeah.
13, he's also quite young. But yeah. Odin tells us the thesis of the game, his actual name is Barnabas. But yeah. And then we uh have a heartfelt tender moment with Jill, who willingly gives the powers because of the concept of sharing burdens with each other, which very touching, very good. Liked it a lot. And then that's where we stopped. Well, no, we did a little bit of side questing, but side quests don't get covered as much in our recap. And that gets us caught up. I didn't use the map, but we're still loading, so
I was so happy when we got to the title screen. This is why I said yay randomly earlier. And then
yeah.
it was like, oh, there's more loading still.
I tried to activate it. It usually does not take this long to load. I don't know what's up today. Like,
yeah, it's a little scary.
yes, there was like one other stream where it took this long to load, but it was because I had just moved it over to a different hard drive.
And I think it's because they had to redo the textures and shit, recompile the shaders. Not doing that this time, I don't think. You did close DRG, right?
I have nothing to do on the recap. You know that all we have left is to fight Odin's dominant and the water dominant Leviathan.
I guess we also learned that Odin's horse is not a real person.
Odin's, Odin's second in command, who is named after his horse, who is not actually a horse, but he's also not a person.
I scared the game into starting because it's like, please don't be this way.
Now you can go ahead and ask your question. Like, we're just gonna be doing side quests and stuff anyways. Like, communication with chat is part of what we do. That's part of streaming. Very much enjoyed last week when we actually had like a conversation about the themes and stuff, and chat was participating. It was super good.
Yeah, Scribble was part of that.
Yeah.
I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if East Pool's going to survive, it's got to be able to fend for itself.
My prediction is that Clive and Odin are gonna make out.
I predict that we will beat Odin. I no longer think that Jill is no longer guaranteed to die. I still believe that it is likely, just because that's a lot of what
And if he's likely to share those concerns with anyone, it's you.
They've been talking a lot about how Ultima needs to sever our connection to our consciousness, and like that seems to be saying connection to folks that we care about. So Jill, Joshua, Uncle, still feels like at least one of them will die, if not all of them. It should likely be all of them. Like I said, thematically, that would give us the severing of all the connections, so that like Clive will have a crisis of conscience and theme like on his, you know, very very distraught and be like just about to be taken over by Ultima, until he remembers the conversation with Jill about how, like, you know, sharing burdens and carrying folks with him, and then, like, all of the people that he's absorbed powers from will be, like, cheering him on from the afterlife, sort of thing. That is my assumption, at least. Which I'm fairly confident on, but the game has surprised me, and I've been wrong before. So, we will see for sure. Just in case,
appreciate. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
just in case that is exactly what happens, I have not seen anything about this game.
I also know nothing about this game. My extremely jokey guess is the thing that's setting my jokey prediction aside. I have really appreciated so far how this game has subverted a lot of my expectations. Like, for example, Jill did not die to give us our powers. Uncle is still alive.
Yes.
Like, I appreciate that it feels like they didn't want to just fall into very obvious tropes, but they still set the scene for them to happen.
Given, like, especially given that it is very much taking after, like, Game of Thrones, it very much would have been in line to kill off anybody that was remotely likable, like, as soon as you grow attached to them.
Yeah. I have not seen Game of Thrones, so I wouldn't know how comparatively that is.
I haven't either. I just have, like, I'm familiar enough with the memes of, like, who's gonna die this week, as everybody tunes into the show.
Fair.
Martha's keen to cut the apron strings, then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed, only without the seeds.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend these, so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves, bearers and guardians alike. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Damn it all, I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now.
I'd also like to amend my prediction. If Joshua does die, he will also come back, because I have a feeling the, like, combined form of Ifrit and Phoenix together will make a return when fighting Ultima.
What if you could call on reinforcements from this pool?
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live.
I do think I think that Joshua probably will die, and that's how Ultima will escape him.
Yes.
And I think Ultima will probably be our final encounter.
Yes, Ultima's the final boss, no doubt.
What help they are able to offer could still prove the difference between victory and defeat.
You're right, my lord. I will appeal to them.
Like a banana.
My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter. To serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
Der Mondmann?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool!
For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rossfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square, the perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerves to coordinate the retreat. I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade, but you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory?
Sir Wade! They're here!
Then you know what you must do. We work together, everyone playing their part, each shielding the other that no man might fall. that Eastpool might live on. For Rosaria.
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right you are, Martha.
For Eastpool and for Rosaria are both kind of for war cries in general. For freedom, much better.
Before the storm.
I like Westpool better.
And here it comes. I will not let this village fall.
Can't fault them too much for not fully thinking through their political stances, because, like, not
They're
every
just trying to
aspect.
survive right now.
Yeah, I'm more meeting the writers.
Oh,
There's just identifying the problems in a current system are relatively easy, even if you don't get all of them. But imagining a better future is a lot harder.
really hard.
Things like not understanding that loyalty to a region is some of the issues with what we have. That's understandable to yes, I feel like.
Enemies defeated.
Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield, change of plan.
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic Curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain in Eastpool?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I think the worst is behind us. I could order a detachment or two to fall back and...
No, let them finish the job. You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go after the Curl. Join me only when Eastpool is won.
If you're sure, my lord. May the Founder protect you.
Remind me as I steal materials from your struggling settlement.
What could go wrong? They don't need them.
Come on.
Video game logic.
I still think one of my favorite games that I only played the first 3 or 4 hours of was Hercules or Heracles. I can't remember which one it was. Because if you took from a villager's house, one of your party members speak up and say like, "Hey, we're like stealing from a dude. This isn't cool." And you have the option to put the object back or to take it anyway. If you take it, he will continue to be like, "Hey man, we're just stealing. This isn't cool." The third time you take an object, he's like, "Fine, I get it. I see you're not going to listen to me. Whatever." And you get a text saying like you feel like a chill wind blow through you or something of that nature. And your punishment for stealing 3 or more times from a villager's house is your encounter rate is now doubled.
Nice.
The encounter rate in that game is already tremendously annoying. So it's like every 2 steps in the world now you have to deal with fighting something. And if I ever make an RPG, I'm absolutely going to initiate something of that nature, where just if you keep stealing from people, you will get punished for it.
Yeah. I feel like one of the tutorial scenarios in one of the RPG Maker games, probably the one that came out for PlayStation, also had like a thing like that where like you would try to interact with like a dresser in somebody's house. It would be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" "It's mine," and it wouldn't let you take anything.
Like, I definitely want to give the player the option to take shit.
Yeah.
But I want them to be punished for doing so.
Mhm.
Like, I think I'm gonna do the same thing where it's just like the first couple times you try to take it, it's just like there'll be someone or something being like, "Hey, that's like not okay. Can you put that back, please?" And like you'll have the option to be like, "Oh, you're right."
Back to
And if you just keep ignoring it, the game will punish you in funny ways.
Yeah.
Lord Rossfield, the Curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you, my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but all seems quiet for now. I hesitate to say it, but I think it might be over.
I think it might.
We did it. We saved Eastpool. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking you. You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before. We didn't know what it meant to protect it, but now we do. We really do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, and still we doubted you. But there's no doubt in my mind anymore. We're free men now, so we have to start acting like it. We have to fight to protect what's ours, to protect Eastpool.
And we shall. We all shall. Together. This is our home. And if anyone or anything tries to take it away,
they'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't going to rebuild itself.
Sure it will.
Further emphasis on the themes.
they're Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he was still with us today, this is what he would have wanted.
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now too, and I could hardly call myself an East Poolian if I didn't pull my weight.
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud all the same. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course, and I'll be counting on yours too. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right. I will.
Lord Rossfield, do you remember our very first mission together? Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind marshes?
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall...
Excuse me, you have an axe?
Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
Kind of surprised they weren't like, let's rename it New Rosaria.
The hero returns. It's lucky you came by when you did, eh? Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and saved Eastpool and all.
I just did what I could.
It's only right that you get rewarded for it. Take it before I change my mind.
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back on its feet again. And a home to free bearers. Who'd have thought we'd see the day, eh?
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, working for themselves. Like your hideaway, but not even hidden away. Though I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that reminds me of when I first met Sid. Loath as I am to recall that particular day.
I take it you didn't always see eye to eye. What happened?
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I met Sid. In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he came to meet me. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled, and then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were.
Well, we both wanted the same thing, to make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know, I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke. Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
Just a little.
Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some dinner, shall we? The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
What do you think the speedrun time is for this game?
3 hours.
Even that sounds a little long to me, but it's probably pretty close.
Oh, do you not know? I thought you pulled it up during that cutscene or something.
No, I'm
curious now.
Yeah, I'm assuming that this is the shortest Final Fantasy game in a speedrun.
7 hours is the current world record.
Oh, jeez, okay.
Slightly under. Yeah, I was a little, cause I bounced back and forth in my head. It's like, it's probably less than 8 hours.
I wonder how many cutscenes are unskippable.
And those are all on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
What about PC? PC is only one person has run the PC, and it's. I guess PC did just come out, didn't it?
Yeah, it came out in September.
9/24 is the PC world record.
More wild beasts?
Nothing like that.
Longer on PC.
There's only one runner. I think it's just one person ran it to grab the title. So
yeah, that's fair.
All right, I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
If we somehow manage to wrap this up before my self-imposed deadline, maybe I will try to do a speedrun of it.
New Game Plus is 6 hours.
Depends on like how intensive it is, I guess.
Don't blame you.
Yeah.
The combat could be like very nightmarish if there's some like weird trick to it.
All right.
Is something wrong?
Like the Lightning Return speedrun basically requires that you learn how to do the perfect attacks every time, which is more than I can do.
Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
You had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all. And we were so close.
Elle, what's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist was speaking to about the bearers. How did the consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but is this what she really wants?
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place is well stocked and defended. You go to Randala and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randala then.
All right, 2 commercials then. We will be back in 3 minutes. Be sure to stretch, get water, go to the bathroom, take care of yourselves. And we'll see you on the other side.
I can't believe.
And we're back.
We did it.
Did it.
What did we do?
Watched commercials.
Keep Eloise waiting.
Yay! Oh, mine was a football.
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Looks like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through?
Ready, go?
Faster!
So glad I got stuck on that cart to get 31 gil. Very worthwhile.
Is the game quiet?
What?
Scribble said the game is very quiet today.
I just adjusted it. Adjusted the wrong way.
Ah, do it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cal.
To be fair, we're just doing side quests, and the side quests so far have been like, let's really hammer home the themes. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know. It just kind of is feeling a little overdone at this point, but maybe that's just me. It is like also wrapping up each of these side characters' stories, so.
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves, and then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm amused that that is confirmation that we are basically on a landmass the size of the UK. Because there are people from the continent.
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
Yeah.
As am
Makes
I.
sense.
But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more, and he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. But they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just... make sure he's safe.
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming. Ready, go? Faster! Back to the stables, girl.
What's the situation?
Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area's flooded with ether.
We just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me.
just remembered I can give orders to Torgal.
Have you not been?
No.
Oh. Yeah, I mean the big thing for me having watched would be like anytime I have the healable health, I would be telling him, hey, please make that bar go up.
Yeah, he does it by automatically too.
Okay.
Just like his AI works about as well as Kingdom Hearts AI.
Is that good or bad?
Bad. There's a reason that generally when you are playing Kingdom Hearts, they tell you to unequip all the potions off of your AI characters.
The thing I remember is not having a problem with the AI when I played Kingdom Hearts as a kid growing up, but I remember why that is compared to most people. Did you know you can customize the AI?
Yeah.
Okay, most people don't know that.
Yeah. Even if you have them set to use healing items as infrequently as possible, they will still use too much.
I don't give them. That's right. I don't give them healing items, but like, the thing I remembered growing up, and the thing that made the game a lot easier for me, personally, is I would remove Donald's ability to cast spells, and he could only heal.
Theodore before that dragon does.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have to worry about healing because he would just heal you all the time.
Yep.
Looks like it's
and I can focus on killing the thing.
This isn't going to be easy.
Oh, we're here again.
This
is a different dragon.
Yeah. Clean sweep.
Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here.
Unfortunate.
I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Theodore! Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you! Theodore.
Take care of my sister.
Theodore, wait.
Goodbye, Elle.
Ah!
No! Theo! Theo!
Wow.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place, against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer. In more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to...
I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's, wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own, to continue helping you however I can, whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
Well,
Yes, it's starting to rear its head places.
yeah. Or if a lot of these quests feel like they're very like the last quest in these lines.
Yes.
Kinda.
This is our wrapping up the various side stories.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to uncover Ultima's origins. Have you learned anything of note since last we spoke?
Little unless, I regret to report.
I see.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth is known. Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner of the realm for traces of Ultima's touch.
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back as far as Phoenix Gate.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fallen civilization, as if protecting the secrets concealed within.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be of interest, my lord, mayhap it would please you to observe some of our number at work.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey is being conducted not far from here. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov, a small hamlet built around a fallen airship. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary findings, but if you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate any discoveries they have made to you directly.
All right. I'll go and meet with them.
They will be most gratified, I am sure. Might I suggest you take the road through Titan's Wake? It will lead you straight to the village after but a short walk.
Thank you. I will.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your heart.
Yes.
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another Lost Wing. I hope the inhabitants are just as friendly.
Clive, no one's there at the Lost Wing anymore. There's no friendliness to be had there.
I'm sure there's some friendliness. What could go wrong? Except zombies. Lost Wing is the one that the revenge guy was part of, right?
Yeah, and they wanted to start a new empire, and it's like, what are you talking about? Not new empire, a new nation. It's still like
yeah.
Time to fight.
Feel very concerned that this week is going to be entirely side quests, and we're not going to get any progress on the main story.
What?
Yeah. If the writing wasn't so good on the side quests, I would skip them.
Yeah.
But they don't feel like side quests. They feel like what would be part of the main story in another Final Fantasy game. They just kind of broke it up to make it so you don't like spend hours at a new city learning everything about everybody and then progressing on.
It's to the point, like, I kind of wish there was a better name for them, because side quest feels like inaccurate.
Yeah.
Like, they're definitely not the main quest, but like I wish there was like another term for it.
I feel like the problem is more that people don't regard side quests as like good, because by and large, in most games they really are just like there to pad time, but like sometimes they are good.
Thanks.
Like it feels like these have like real effect on the world, whereas like most side quests are like, hey, I need help with dinner. Go kill 2 boars for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I don't kill 2 boars for this lady, she'll still find dinner.
Yeah. We cannot do this side quest, apparently. Literally unable to proceed.
Oh. Can we not return to Lost Wing?
The Lost Wing's way over here.
Oh. I guess that... Can you not just burn the gate down?
Oh, we're supposed to go from here and around the back. Okay.
So no burning the gate.
No, we're just gonna go around the back.
Ready, go?
I was confused because I was like, I can't get to the side quest, but they did mention going through Titan's Path. So we go this other way. Excuse me. I was gonna let you live, but then you knocked me off my chocobo, so you get to die now.
Very rude. Tough for just a random dude on the road.
Yeah.
Not anymore, though.
He was pretty tough, but not tough enough.
Let's go.
This is the first of our side quests that have been about, something new. Since, like, starting the session, I guess, is what I mean. Like, this subsection of side quests has all been, like, wrapping stuff up, but this one is something new, which is exciting.
I want you to think.
Be safe.
If you really just have to go to the other side of that gate.
Yes.
Why?
Gonna open the door from inside the town. Just
okay.
It's locked from the other side.
Oh.
Oh no. You'll pay for this.
Fallen already came through and killed everyone. Okay.
There may still be survivors.
Dodge that. Black Mage Scarecrow. Very cute.
Very scurry.
Whatever that thing is, they say it's their leader.
Oops.
Punch. Work.
Yay, another level.
We are now the correct level.
Yes, we know the answer to life, the life, the universe, and everything.
Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attentions. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins. A duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all Undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your
Joshua,
work here,
why did you raise a
and I
cult?
agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it does in ours.
No. I have fired dog.
Nothing to lay down your life for another.
What is Ifrit Affleck, actually?
I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
I mean, it's based on a djinn, but the Final Fantasy always looks kind of like a demon, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's continue then. There is a second half.
We'll prepare the parchment.
Around the village for goodies real quick before we leave. That's probably it though. Oh, no, I was... Stairs? Stairs? Yes.
You upstairs? Yes.
Going to open these doors just because I can now.
Ah, you are returned, my lord.
I collected your colleagues' preliminary findings. Here, take them.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid you in your fight against Ultima.
Cyril, your survey party suffered several losses in Kretov. Losses which could have been avoided, had the others not chosen to complete their work, instead of saving their friends. Were these your orders?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty, and should we die in discharging it, so be it.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful to argue. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations, and your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose, and that purpose alone.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please. For all our sakes.
I thank you for your advice, my lord.
Josh, fix your cult.
If you will permit me to respond. Our faith in his grace, Joshua Rossfield, is absolute. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty unto him. As first shield to the Phoenix, I am sure you understand what it means to do one's duty.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind. And it is my hope that we may continue to do our duty together.
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure?
I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats, and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalamil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
But we'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be. Until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud, by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you.
I'll go and speak with him.
What's the difference between the law?
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon at as many camps as we can. We can't give this league of theirs time to rally its forces.
All right. Which camp shall I take?
There's one upriver. Just out there, across the dunes.
We can Sega rally our
Leave it with
forces.
me.
If those ne'er-do-wells want to band together, let them. There'll be no match.
Come on. Faster! That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers! Take his head off!
Who's the organization of these guys again?
These are the League of Bandits. Or the League of Yielders or something, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But if that was all of them, there's not that many. I don't know why they were so worried.
The knitting group of villains.
Circle of evil.
Sid, where are you?
Use your eyeballs.
Ah, I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but that's not why you're here, is it?
No. Something's happened. We need you back in Dalimil.
What is it?
The whole town's in uproar. They're saying that Lubor is a bearer.
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Dalimil. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years, which is what people are saying. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who was made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
You're right.
This is a quest that I had heard of a little bit prior. And it was a quest that people didn't like.
Yeah.
Because just hearing that is like, oh no, he saved some children with magic.
And
He's
now
evil.
everyone knows.
Lubor's always been kind of
I
an
made
ass,
it a habit to keep
though.
a crystal close at hand for
That's
just
true.
such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running, but we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something, and quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
You're right. We should speak to everyone.
I'm glad you agree. I'll handle the townsfolk. I'm a Dalmek born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors.
I feel like this is fine, though. This region hasn't really had the conversations about
I'll do what I can.
prejudice bad.
I suppose so.
Lubor.
Most of the world
Stay here
really
with the
hasn't.
I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
And that is all I can ask of you.
Anyway, we have to take another commercial break, so way back in 3 minutes. Stretch, get water, take care of yourselves. And we're back. Thank you for sticking
Hooray!
with us.
Why are you taking the bearers?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside?
I knew all along that he was
Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have
you
I.
haven't.
Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil. And they will thank you not to get involved.
Jesus.
Prejudices run deep, especially ones that have been indoctrinated into people.
Nor I.
Yeah.
Conrad and Natalie refuse to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
Also, yeah, anger and being reactionary to things.
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside? It's driving away our customers.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still hope. But...
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie. That a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us. We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones, it is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
They would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here, A reward for clearing out that bandit camp. Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do. Anything.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.
Doesn't resolve the best, but I still understand it. Like, why everything always goes your way. Heavy and hard lessons taught in this game, I feel like.
Okay.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
Heard the bad news then, did you?
What bad news?
About Dravost. Blackthorn's old haunt. With the forge and all that. Well, anyway, the mine's just down the road from there are spewing at ether like no one's business.
And the village?
Safe from the flood for now, but they've got other problems. Akashic. Every creature in the area's either turned or on the way to turning, apparently. Zoltan and the others are living on borrowed time. They need help, and quick. Doris sent a few curse breakers to keep an eye on things, but there's only so much a couple of scouts can do. Except get eaten. If something ain't done soon, the whole place will be overrun.
I won't let that happen.
Didn't think you would.
Does Blackthorn know?
I thought it might be better if he didn't. He'd only do something stupid. You reckon we should tell him?
No. It's better this way.
Yeah, well, I can't stand about knowing what's happening out there, so I'm off. I'll see you in Dravost.
Like, we did just have a quest where a character killed themselves at the conclusion of it, so like, I don't know.
How may I help you today, Clive? Come to claim your just desserts? Here you are. Come again. I may have more for you.
There was something else that could up this one, I think. So we use aerial blast a lot, and we use gouge a lot. Both of these being upped. Just one more for this one. The 4,000. Awesome master. I think that was the one I was thinking of that was being held. That was weird that it wasn't being completed. Everything else is whatever.
Clive, I do so enjoy our little chats.
I have to actually go into
Back
it to get
again?
rid of the yellow dot. Okay.
How may I help you today? Very good.
Also
Yeah,
got
'cause for once we didn't use her.
Yep. Also got there, and the guard table also has a message that gives us a side quest, which I assume is follow up on the quest with the paperwork guy in Dalamil.
A quest.
How was
Yeah,
she?
I think we will get to or stuff that's probably only gonna be in the last hour
I
again.
was hoping to see. Did you have a mo? Don't tell me. You need more
No,
bomb
but I have
ash.
a curly Malary.
No.
Is that good enough?
We still got plenty of that left. I'm working.
You joke, but those are the names of bosses in Final Fantasy VI.
It's a new smelter. It's got a reverberatory hood over the top for additional thermo amplification and a system of reciprocal recirculatory regenerators that let's just say it gets very blimmin' hot. A heck of a lot hotter than anything Blackthorn's got in his forge, that's for certain. Only mithril engines get hotter, and you can't chuck ore in one of them and get metal out the other end. Trouble is, we won't be able to make out of any old rubbish neither. We need the good stuff. And I hear you once helped Helena get her hands on exactly that. Any chance you could help me too? If it's for the good of the hideaway, I'd be happy to. Oh, it is. I promise you. So, what exactly is this good stuff you need me to find?
Good stuff.
I think this is the one that results in
Spherical echoes, we call them.
bigger bag.
Fallen materials. So this smelter is similar to the mithril engine in more ways than one. That's right. They're a bit like the thermal helms. Fallen ceramics deal with heat like nothing else, see? And what's more, they're directional, transferring heat from the inside to the outside. But these things, they're all outside. If we line the hood with them, they'll reflect the heat right back into the furnace. We've collected as many as we can, and I know where we can get the rest. Trouble is, they're all watched over by their bigger, uglier cousins. So you want me to visit some ruins, destroy some echoes, and bring back the spheres they're guarding? That's it in a nutshell, yeah. We're only 3 short, mind, and we know exactly where they are. There's one up Amber Way, in that ruin that they call Lost Plume, and another in the Silent South, over in Dalmekia. Last one is in the ruins of Advent, which is in the Empire. All right then. Wish me luck. Will do. I'll be keeping all my fingers and toes crossed.
Unless I go ahead and, like, just fight Svarog for the last hour.
With Canva in the hands of Akashic, I'll need to find another port. Preferably one as well hidden.
Just the reading table, and then of course I'm gonna stop off at
Can we read Miss Editor's story for a lesson?
our library guy, historian, because obviously we've hit level 6 by now.
Have you tried Molly's lemon tarts? I've never had anything so delicious.
So, what'll it be?
The make them already? I don't remember that. Oh, here they are.
Make what?
We need a stone tongue and stained loincloth.
Don't tell me we run out of papio nuts and all. What do you expect? Farmers are abandoning their fields and trying
Weird thing is I don't think there are more hunts, so I'm not sure where we're gonna get those.
You check the hunt board?
I will, before we leave.
Minimum, we have Durgan still.
Yeah.
There's no way of knowing if Doris will confide in me, but I can speak to her at least.
It's also possible that maybe the hunt board will update either after Svarog or like after a certain amount of side quests. I don't know when it updates. Did they mail me a letter if they're here in the rest?
Because you weren't here.
I don't know. It's weird. On level 6.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before.
Yeah.
Hey.
I
was really worried because how slow it was going. I was going to stop right in front of the end of it again.
Yeah.
I was like, no, don't do this twice.
Inch up and doesn't actually make it. No.
Where are you?
Can I help you, Sid?
I'm looking for Doris. Is she here?
I'm afraid not. She's at Martha's Rest on a job. My job, actually. When she heard what the mission was, she insisted on going herself. Alone.
Did she? What was the mission?
Following up on some new information. Once they'd settled in, the bearers you helped liberate in the Dragon's Eyrie were keen to talk about their imprisonment. And about their captor.
The slaver Cole's team were tracking when they were attacked by the Beastmen. I'll go and find her. She's at Martha's Rest, you say?
If she's not moved on already, yes. I hope everything's all right.
Why would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe Cole was right to be worried.
Yep, nothing else.
I don't know.
They also might be items from things that we fight on side quests or something, I don't know.
Doris should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
It's been a pleasure, Doris. Just like old times.
I'll give your offer some thought, my lady.
How goes the investigation?
Sid, what brings you to Martha's Rest?
You.
Probably resting.
I heard you were out here on your own, tracking our slaver. I trust you're being careful.
Of course. And it had to be me. The bearers from the Dragon's Eyrie confirmed a long-held suspicion of mine that the slaver we've been tracking is an old acquaintance. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight away, and then vanished without a trace.
That was her just now, wasn't it? So, was it a fruitful reunion?
I'd say so. She tried to recruit me. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end. She's abducted bearers from across the region and is looking to smuggle them back into Sambrek. After her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial escort, which she wants me to join. She's dangerous, Sid, but I think I can stop her.
Then I'm going with you. I'll take care of the escort. You can see the bearers to safety. Where are they?
The Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll follow once I've sent word back to the hideaway.
Let's go. Faster!
Picked the wrong place to set out from. Whoops.
Let's go. Run like the wind. I can walk from here.
I've been muted. That's why I have gotten no responses.
Aha.
Turns out I need to be unmuted to get responses. Did you even hit that bomb in the last few hits, or did Torgal kill it? Because it looked like it was too high for you.
The last few, no, I did not hit it.
Go pump.
I was directing Torgal to do it, so... Oops. Didn't mean to unleash it at level 1, but oh well.
Look out, Clive. The spiritual echoes. They're behind you.
This is it.
There's two of them.
Right then. Just two more to
They're a
find.
weird color. Not creative looking.
Worried I was going the wrong way for a second there, but it just goes same place either way. Thought I was in wind, not light. Oh well.
Good. They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
Back to civilization, is it, Mom?
With all haste, lest any of you lackwits start talking like these feckless bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more, and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company. Kill him.
Welcome to try.
I know they saw us casually standing over there.
That guy over there, kill him. He smells like main character. I don't like it.
Brave of you to cast that with 2 hit points left. Right in front of me.
I wish I had 2 hit points. I only have 1.
Yeah. We are not characters in an RPG.
It's over.
So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I'm not the swordswoman I used to be. I surrender. Do with me as you wish, Sid the Outlaw.
Sid!
Ah, Doris. I take it you're not here to rescue me from our brooding renegade? You know, I always wondered where you'd vanished to. But casting your lot with this criminal of all people.
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin. I'm sorry, Sid. I should have told you sooner. This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons in service of the highest bidder. She raised me like a daughter, and I did terrible things to earn her favor.
It wasn't all terrible, surely. We had our fun, too. You were always so eager to learn, and had such clever hands. All my other children took either to the blade or to the books. Always either or. But you proved yourself a master of both. That's why I kept you for my own. How about it, my little dagger? Care to swear that blade to me again?
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever. I fight for a higher cause, to liberate the bearers of this world. Farewell, Master. Thank you for making me the weapon I am.
You always were a righteous child. Perhaps that's the reason I loved you so.
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer
I
she
want
wanted
to
me to
kill
be.
her now.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
And she no longer has friends in high places. The Dame does, though. Her connections at the Imperial Court will see that justice is done.
All right. If you're certain.
Abuse is never love.
And thank you for everything. Now, I better let these bearers know that they're safe.
Then I should head back to the hideaway and put Cole's mind at ease.
Why did you forcibly take me back to the hideaway? I thought I was gonna talk to them later.
Doris's
Nope,
message
right now.
just arrived.
Right now.
I hear you
Talk
saved
to
more
them now.
bearers from being smuggled across the border.
With any luck, they'll be joining us in the hideaway shortly. Oh, and your letter. You don't need to worry about Doris anymore.
I'd been hoping as much. She mentioned one or two things in her report. So the slaver we'd been chasing all these months was her former master. Wish I'd known. She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sambrek. Went quietly, or so we're told. And she won't be getting off lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's none too fond of black market traders either. Can't have been easy for Doris.
I'm sure it wasn't. But don't worry. She'll be all right.
I hope so. Suppose you should know, eh? You had quite the past yourself before you came here, or so I understand. Anyway, thanks again, Sid. The Cursebreakers would be lost without Doris. And you, of course.
Keep up the good work, Cole.
Rascal. Down. One to go. Come on. Faster! So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
I have some things for sale. Certainly. Here you are.
Clive! You're here!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. There's swarms of them out there. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time if we need it. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside their homes at least.
Well done.
Welcome back, Sid. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not if August hadn't let slip. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out to be the realm's most infamous outlaw? Keen to help us out again?
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did ya?
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you doing here?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down. Unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoldan, how long's it been? Long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
That your idea of an apology? Prick.
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best. For the village and that.
I did, yeah. But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chiefdom to the two of us. He left it to me. The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself, of course. Bloody stupid tradition, in my opinion. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feuds and barter for grain. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen to me.
So you wasted half of mine instead.
You're what Dravost needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot the consequences. I may be a selfish prick, but I only did what I felt I had to.
What you had to do was your duty!
Even if it meant we all starved?
Enough. This is no time for bickering. You can finish beating each other up once Dravozd is safe.
Fine. I've said my piece anyway.
Yeah, so have I.
Sorry, Clive. I shouldn't have stuck my nose in. We're short enough on time as it is. Still, give us a mo, would you? I need to get my head straight before any of them Akashic try to bite it off.
Would you like to see my wares? Certainly.
You, ready for the off, then?
We can't afford to waste any more time.
Right you are. Might be worth having one last word with the scouts, though. Don't want any nasty surprises, do we? Oh, and Blackthorn, you and Zoltan might be better off staying inside the...
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls. And there are more coming up from the mines.
What was I saying about nasty surprises?
They'll wash right over us if we stay out in the open. We're pulling back behind the gates.
Good idea. Get yourselves inside, but keep your weapons handy.
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight if I have to.
Well, let's hope you don't. That's our job. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade the gates. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No fighting at all if you can help it.
August's right. I've seen what Akashic beasts can do to armor. The people here are tough and willing, but they ain't equipped to face what's coming.
I'm going out there. Start work on the gates as soon as I've left. I'll give you as much time as I can.
And if they kill you?
You evacuate. But it won't come to that. I promise.
In character.
You'd better be right.
Take good care of Dravozd till I get back.
Leave it to me. And give those things what for, yeah?
All right. Which one of you's first? Is that it? Apparently not.
Ooh, the Chimera. Looks almost identical to the Final Fantasy XIV model.
Not getting past me.
I remembered right. Ice is left. Well, our left. It's right.
Yeah.
Thunder is right. Yep, there it is. I remembered. I remembered right. Like, it's the smallest thing in the world, but I'm just like, yeah, I fought this thing 1,000 fucking times. I should know, but also I remember.
This is the first, like, new model we've seen in a while in this game. Oh, hey! The Ram's voice and the Dragon's voice.
Yay!
Where's the Dragon's voice? There it is.
So happy that's there. I'm so happy I knew I'm like Captain America over there. I got that reference.
Sid, you're even more fearsome than your reputation. Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt sorry for the wretched things. But mostly, I felt grateful. Dravoged won't forget what you did today.
I'm afraid I've only delayed the inevitable. There's no getting rid of that ether flood. Meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up clawing at your walls again.
And that's if the flood don't spread. If it does, well, I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but we're staying just the same. With ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, it's our home. We'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded day and night.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up those defenses.
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravos needed you. So, Thanks.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without talking it over with you first.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I doubt I'd have listened. I always envied you. How you made everything look so easy when, for me, it was anything but. You leaving gave me the perfect excuse to hate you. And from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. But what you said earlier, it was true. You'd have been the death of this place.
Finally, something we can agree on. I hope you see the sense of it eventually. You kept this place alive.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but Dravozh isn't what it once was. Our work used to be the pride of Dalmekia. Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after day because it's easy and turns a profit. It's not about the craft anymore. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of our smiths are making. I've kept working, honing my skills, trying to lead by example, but no one sees the point. The average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as our current lot. Come back to us, Blackthorn. Remind Dravozh what a true master blacksmith looks like. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. And I wish I could accept, but I'm needed elsewhere. There's people who trust their lives to my steel, and I daren't let them down.
Fair enough.
But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit from time to time. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's passion for the craft, shall we?
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in the next time I come calling, yeah?
Knowing him, he'd let you in anyway. Blackthorn. The Master Smith turned outlaw, back in my good graces. I never thought I'd see the day.
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd hoped.
Sid, I've got something for you.
Our last gym badge.
And this
Oh boy! No. Now we can take on the Elite
lasting
Four.
gratitude. But I'm of a mind to make you a far grander gift. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief for generations.
Now hold
I
on,
already
Sultan.
made Excalibur.
There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a craftsman equal to the task. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned to own an edge Odin would be proud of. But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry. And they're not just for show, either.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravozh in the first place? A certain ring? I knew I'd never surpass you with a hammer and tongs. So I turned my hand to a different kind of metalwork. Between the two of us, I'd say we're the equal of any master craftsman ever to have graced a forge.
You know what? I think you might be right. Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to the Hideaway, would you?
He's more than welcome. As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan, get your tools. We've got a legend to forge.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Now it's time for us to take a commercial break. We're still not done with side quests.
Oh.
Ah!
We may not get to story today, which is kind of sad.
I am certain we will. Like, it's probably just gonna go a tiny bit over this week than normal, just because, like, getting to a good stopping point afterwards. But I definitely want to do story, just so that we get story.
I mean, that's fair.
Anyway, commercial. Let's stretch, get water, and use the restroom. take care of yourselves. We will be back on the other side. And we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Get back to the game. Still got this one last side quest to finish up. Picking up spherical orbs so we can carry more potions.
Time to fight.
What? Okay. Can't go up from here, there's no path.
You can. Go up.
I have to go around. It's going the wrong way.
You still want up.
No, I'm going the right way.
But you're going to the left.
The correct way.
Sorry.
You're fine. They should have made this game co-op and had one of the people play as Torgal.
That would have been fun. Well, that just makes me reminds me we need to play more more chaos killing.
Yeah. Gotta kill chaos.
That's all of.
That's all. I'm going to laugh if we do like a tiny little bit of story and immediately a bunch more side quests open.
Oh, don't tell me we run out of Papio nuts at all.
Ah, the man himself.
We were just about to make a start on that sword I promised you.
It's funny, but none of this would have been possible without your help. You remember Camille? We'll be using his leatherwork for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles? That'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
Okay.
A team
We're just gonna get it. That's cool.
Greatest blacksmith alive.
I mean,
now,
I thought the point of the whetstone is that made the blade real brittle, though.
Right. I'm ready.
No, that was the techniques that Tabor was using to make his steel with the limestone.
Well, bugger me. We actually did it.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
Oh, so this isn't the best sword either.
Trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsmen alive, then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take
yeah,
more
he's
than
even
that
saying
to
as
earn
much.
us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
There we go. Let's now you have to kill the dragon.
Yeah.
You leave this list with me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend
And
at a time,
possibly
eh,
more.
lads? Before you start
I
on the
still
next,
don't know where some of the
who
other
fancies
materials
raising a
are.
cup to friendship reforged.
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way!
That's the best sword. Guess there's an
What?
achievement for it.
What a name!
Cutter Ring.
That just sounds like someone sneezed.
Something with your gear, or... What do you want?
Dark Steel and Primitive Battlehorn. Primitive Battlehorn sounds like it comes from Svarog. Do not know on the rest of the stuff.
Fine.
But there's also this.
I never thought me and Zoltan would ever speak again, let alone work together. And if it hadn't been for you, we wouldn't. You've been a good friend of me, Clive. The best. I'll keep the forge up.
I thought that was gonna, like...
You're the best.
I thought that was gonna give us things like, go check the hunt board for these monsters, but no.
That's from. I just never know you've said it many times.
Marvel's Avengers.
Oh.
Canva lost.
When
One
did they
of-
say that?
It's
Oh, right, the lady who
Yeah.
say it over and over again.
Yeah.
And you could hear her from no matter where you went on the ship, right?
Yeah. In the base.
Ah, Sid. Wasn't expecting you back so soon. So, is it good news or bad?
Good, thankfully. Here.
That's brilliant! Thanks a blimmin' million! I'll fit 'em to the smelter right away! May I present to you the Telemon Furnace! Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
No.
Oh, don't
Become
say
more
that.
flexible.
I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on.
He makes a good
The
point. We
Telemon
could
Furnace
just
was
be
just
given
what
a
we needed
bigger
to perfect
bag.
it. It's a metal, see?
No, just
So it's
make this
lovely and
bag
strong.
better.
It's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal. Well, if you insist.
That is the spirit. You'll love it, I promise. So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. You earned it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses for it around the hideaway. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dreaming up new ways to make life easier around here. Maybe even out there, too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag of yours will be the first of many. You mark my words.
They'll hardly believe their eyes, I'm sure.
maximized. Eight potions, 5 high potions, 4 strength tonics.
Cool.
And the achievement unlocked, so there are no more bag upgrades and no more potion upgrades.
What was the achievement name?
I don't remember. It went away already.
I saw it pop up and I just couldn't read it because my window's a little small.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Joshua? Better than I was.
But not nearly as well as you should be. Your cuts and burns may have healed, but your body still bears the burden of every spell cast.
And what would you have had me do? It was no ordinary foe we faced. It was the Warden of Darkness. Yet still, it was not enough. The king could have ended me at any moment, but instead chose to toy with me like a curl does a mouse.
Yeah. You underestimate yourself.
Oh, it was crystal clear. Only one man established his dominance that day, and that man was Barnabas. I'm sorry, brother. That was ill-spoken. It's just, I have never felt so powerless. And when so many are looking to us for strength, perhaps the prince feels the same.
What is this place?
This place.
Don't move. Here, it's fresh from the well. Grandmother told me spirits sometimes get lost, and that the lanterns guide them to their proper place. I set one on the river for her when she passed away.
The fiend works from the shadows. Was it you who guided my hand, then, Ultima? No, not you. This is my doing, my fault, my sin to bear. And for it, I must atone.
Your hurts are healing nicely. It was my poultices that saw you well.
You make them?
And sell them, or try to. Earns me enough for bread, most days.
Forgive me. I have nothing to...
I know, but I couldn't just leave you lying there. You're going then?
Of course. I'm healed. Thanks to you and your poultices.
Will you promise to come back and visit?
War Phoenix. It would seem that I owe you my wings.
So I'm making. We've seen that character before, right? The little girl selling potions.
I'm not sure.
I remember seeing her at the market. I think I
Perhaps
made a joke at her
you can find
expense,
an
and now I feel
answer.
bad about it.
You will be returning to Waloed soon, I gather.
I see no reason to wait.
Then neither do I.
I can think of a few, but I doubt they'll stop you. You will take your medicine.
Of course, Lady Daya.
Set on leaving already, are you?
How long will it take us to get back to Ash?
Dunno, about the same amount of time it took us to get here. Maybe less, if your uncle can find someone trustworthy to patch up the Enterprise. All depends on where we're putting into port, mind. Yes. It's not as if we can put ashore wherever we choose. We have to assume that the whole of Ash is hostile, and that we'll be attacked on sight.
Then we must find a place they won't think to look. And I have an idea who might know of one.
The Professor! I'll go and tell you come in!
While you're plotting our course, I'll be in the shelves with your lawsman. I wish to pick his brains about Ultima.
Then I'll talk to Karen about supplies for the journey. They may not be easy to come by in Ash.
Please don't tell me a bunch of side quests opened up.
Your brother's body won't take much more of this recklessness. You know that, don't you?
I do.
Thank you. The hunt board has new things, though. Oh, just
a new thing.
One new thing. And it's probably higher level than Svarog.
No, it has less rewards.
Oh. Interesting. Cursing the Velcroy, Colossal Beat. Oh, it's a Chimera.
I still say it were a compliment.
Ah, Clive. I was wondering when you'd arrive. Please tell me you've come to take our young prodigy here off my hands.
I'm not here for Mid. I need information on Ash.
Then why not ask Molly if you can look in one of her ovens? Go on.
As soon as the Enterprise is ready, we'll be setting out for Drake's Spine. And we're going to need a safe place to land.
Preferably one that won't see my ship blown to shit and splinters.
If it were that easy, do you think Waloed would have resisted invasion for so long? Very little is known of Ash. and the information we do have is spotty and outdated. We have the good King Barnabas to thank for that. Waloed's borders have been closed to outsiders since the day he seized the throne. If there is anywhere safe to land, you won't find it on my map.
Then tell us what we will find. I'm sure you know better than we do.
But no splinters.
All right, if it will get you out of my hair. But interrupt me, and it's over. Understood? Barnabas Tharm, the one they call the last king. Understand him, and you will understand the kingdom of Waloed. Barnabas was only a boy when he arrived from beyond the southern seas, and barely a man before he united the ragged tribes of Ash. And having unleashed them upon the formidable Veldemark, he set his throne upon the ancient kingdom's ruins. The victory sent shockwaves around Valisthea, tales of Odin's might spreading through every court, parlor, and drinking hole in the realm. Note that this was in the year 843, and that the king still sits upon his throne some 40 years later, quite untouched by time. Waloed's recent inaction left many wondering if Odin had lost his appetite for war. And yet here we are. The Einherjar was committed to the fray, a bold declaration of intent. Orcs swarm around Drake's Fang, and throngs of Akashic haunt canvas streets. Though how precisely the havoc they wreak serves Waloed remains unclear. Regardless, if the order to attack truly came from King Barnabas, then one thing is certain. Waloed has achieved the impossible, and made bedfellows of beastmen and the ether-addled alike. All of which is a roundabout way of saying that you will be in unknown territory when you set foot on Ash. Much of the continent has already been lost to the Blight, and what few ports remain will be fiercely guarded. And that is to say naught of its natural defenses. Offshore currents will cast an ill-equipped ship out to sea one moment, and dash it against the rocks the next. But then the Enterprise is anything but ill-equipped, and Mid has made land there before. Now, if only there were someone with an intimate knowledge of the Shadow Coast, and where a daring gentleman might put ashore. You see, Clive, you had the answer all along.
Do you think you can get us back to that beach, Mid?
Picked you up from it, didn't I? Not that it were easy. The currents were a right bastard. But then, if it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be worth doing, would it?
Well said. Thank you, Lady Vivian.
If a few morsels of common knowledge and a sprinkling of tavern talk are worthy of your thanks, I wonder what genuine intelligence might earn me.
Probably more visits. Mid, I need everyone in the ale hall now. I'll fetch Joshua from the shelves.
Aye, aye, Captain.
What are you telling me there's a new quest? No, I refuse.
How do you...
Quest!
Why?
A quest! Make our bag bigger, bigger.
My Lord Marquis.
Wait, wrong person.
Yote, is anything the matter? You seem troubled. Perhaps I might be able to help.
My lord. Yes. Perhaps you might. It's your brother. His condition continues to worsen, though he does his best to hide it. The lesion on his chest pains him more with each passing day.
I had feared as much.
There are certain elixirs which can ease the suffering of those afflicted by the curse, but His Grace's case is severe. The drafts I have been able to prepare for him thus far have ceased to have any real effect. So I consulted with Talia and certain of my comrades among the Undying about the possibility of finding something stronger. And thankfully, a recipe was found. The only problem being that the critical ingredient is exceptionally hard to come by, and our supplies are almost exhausted. Unless we can secure more soon, your brother's anguish will likely become unbearable.
Was I muted when I was screaming about quests?
My
No.
lord, I
Okay,
know
good.
that I have no right to make demands of you. But would you help? For Joshua's sake.
For Joshua, anything.
Thank you, my lord.
So, what is this critical ingredient?
A rare herb by the name of stonerwort. It grows only where the ether is densest. The vigor it stores in its stems helps to counteract the curse. We discovered a patch near the aqueduct in Rosaria. But alas, yet more ether has erupted from the earth there recently, leaving the whole area flooded. The search continues for a new source. One that we might reach without being turned.
So it's only that you can't reach it. The Stonerwort itself is unharmed by the flood.
Well, yes, but...
Then I shall go in your stead.
But, my lord...
You've yet to find another source, correct? So for now, the aqueduct is our best hope. Besides, I'm a dominant. The ether can't hurt me.
Well, if you're sure, my lord. Stonerwort is easily identified by its blood-red blooms. Search around the aqueduct, and you're sure to find some soon enough. I shall remain here and prepare the other ingredients.
How do you split the sea?
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
The stew's awfully thin these days.
Guess Otto's a little slow on the news.
I have no reason to assume.
Clive, you must listen to this. Lawsman, tell him.
Do you recall when we spoke before on the divinity of Ultima? Well, it inspired me to delve deeper into the subject. And what I discovered appears to agree with the findings of His Grace.
You will recall that my quest to uncover Ultima's origins began with the mural at Phoenix Gate. But while I've always known it to be important, its secrets have heretofore eluded me. Now, however, I believe I know where to find the more complete example. One that will reveal all we seek.
Master Clive, have you ever in your travels chanced to hear of the Circle of Malleus? I would think not, few have. But there was once a time when the faith flourished, the oldest known religion in the Twins, and though its popularity
Like,
eventually
have you heard of this?
waned on
Fuck you, you
storm,
have it, you're stupid.
hints of its dogma remain embedded in more modern faiths such as the Crystalline Orthodox.
Wait, you said it waned on storm. What of Ash?
Religious monuments are often torn down or repurposed when new faiths rise to prominence. But if no new faith arose, then perhaps the ancient temples might still stand. And so, you see now why I must accompany you to Waloed.
It would appear the past still has much to teach us, though in this case, it would not have been possible without the musings of Moss. To think that you carried a copy of my old mentor's chronicles all along. I am relieved to discover it in good hands.
I shall guard it with my life.
Joshua, if you're finished here, join me in the ale hall. I need to speak to everyone before we leave.
Right away.
If it please your grace, might I one day borrow the chronicles? For a short while.
Mid said I could ride the Enterprise next. No, she didn't. She said I could.
My apologies.
By now you've all heard where we're going and why. So I won't bother you with the boring details, only the important ones. If we attempt to approach Stone here by sea, there's a good chance we'll be sighted and fall prey to the capital's artillery. So instead, we'll disembark on the southwest coast and make for Drake's Spine on foot. I say we, but it's highly likely the entirety of Ash is under the rule of Ultima. A large party would only attract unwanted attention, as well as slow our march and require supplies which may be difficult to obtain. Only Joshua and I will be going. And a scout.
Why did you call everyone here?
Preferably a good one. Gav, do you know of any?
Thank you, Gav.
Bet your ass I do.
Hell yeah.
Still
Hell yeah,
got
hell
some
yeah.
of Lady Vivian's maps though, just in case, like.
Once you've dropped us off at the Shadow Coast, you need to retreat into neutral waters, fly merchant colors, and stay inconspicuous. If you sense any danger at all, you leave us behind and return to Storm.
Inconspicuous is my middle name. But like hell am I leaving anyone behind. The ship ain't going nowhere till your scurvy mugs are smiling on
I
deck.
can honestly believe that that would be the name that Sid gave her as her middle name.
Pirates alike. You're to stop anyone boarding.
Inconspicuous?
Don't worry. I'll keep the ship and her crew safe. You'll be needing passage home, after all.
But... very well.
If there are no questions, I'll see you all at the docks.
Let me know when you're leaving. I want a word before you go.
Of course.
Side quest time. I was just trying to hopefully open up more side quests if there were more hiding. Which I'm still worried about after we talk to Otto, there being more side quests, but we'll see.
Time to fight. Here's the aqueduct. Now to find our stonewort. Don't they mention blood-red petals? Just my luck. We won't be picking anything till they're gone. There's only one thing for it. is. Better collect as much as I can before reinforcements arrive. Right. Should do it.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
Yote, I brought back all the stone and water I could find. Will this be enough?
No.
Yes, my lord. Thank you. I'm sure it will serve us until we can find another source.
I'm very glad to hear it.
You and His Grace are very much alike, you know. You think only of how you might help others, and never of the danger to yourselves.
No more than you have minding my brother. You've risked a lot for him, and I thank you for it.
I am honored that you should say so. But I beg you, my lord, do not give too much of yourself for the sake of others. We could not afford to lose you.
I'll keep that in mind.
Didn't we need magic to ask for that sword?
I don't believe so. The grades we need for that are like all purple and gold items.
How may I help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised? Come again. I may have more for you.
How do you split the sea?
Is something wrong?
Not at all. Honestly. Can't a man wish his friend farewell? Just wanted to let you know that I'll keep things in order while you're off saving the world.
I'll hold you to that.
Really, game? You don't want to, like, give us more side quests all of a sudden? Good.
Reckon it'll be a long walk to the capital if we follow the cliffs. I'll scout ahead, see if I can't find us an inland route.
Clive. There's something I've been meaning to ask. You took her icon, didn't you?
Yes, I did. She understood.
Oh, she understood. Understood that you decided to save the world all on your own, and that you'd die without her power. How dare you make her choose? You knew damn well she'd never refuse you. But I will. You can't keep pushing us away, Clive. The world is ours to save, not yours.
I used my gift because I thought it was the right thing to do.
And you truly believe this will save you? Will save us all?
I do.
Then so be it. Just don't forget, you're not alone.
Think I found us a trail. Did I miss something?
Only that Joshua didn't.
I don't get it. Always wanted to visit Ash.
We're in Waluda territory now. Don't expect a warm welcome.
Oh, I don't know, Clive. That castle over there looks inviting enough.
Shall we sample its inhabitants' hospitality?
Remember what I said about warm welcomes, Gav?
Oh, this place is as dead as Greagor's ghost. I knew I smelled something.
I see only orcs and a cache here.
Let's hope the villagers made it out in time.
Don't mind me. Nothing to see here. Hello, Amelia.
They minded you a little bit.
Yeah, but it's too late for them. I was already charged with Mega Flare 2.
Can you level that up to have more charges than that?
I don't believe so, because I think it's already maxed. I appreciate whatever support comes my way.
I'm sweet. You unfortunately need to get going to bed sometime soon because I do have an appointment in the morning.
Alright. I will try and get us wrapped up as soon as possible.
Like it's not. I leave at 9, so I have 10 hours. If I slept right now, which is more than enough, because like I just looked up at the clock and I'm like, oh, it's 11. Where did the time go?
Yeah, and this was a lot of side quests.
I like side quests.
Incredibly hard to pull that lever.
It's Camber all over again. Where the hell are the royalists?
Seems you were right about that welcome after all, Clive. Aye, aye.
Is the whole of Ash fallen into Ultima's hands?
That's no peace delegation. We should send a warning to the others.
No. My uncle will have an eye on the coast. I trust he'll find a way to entertain any uninvited guests. Our mark is Drake's Spine, and there's a lot of road between us and it. We press on to Stone here.
Aye, you never know. It might not be a nest of slabbering monsters.
Clive, you must go on ahead without me. This stronghold is as old as Phoenix Gate, perhaps older. It may yet hide Ultima's remaining secrets, and if we are to best him, they must be unearthed.
All right. Stay out of trouble.
I always do. Mostly.
You sure about this?
About leaving my brother on his own. Of course. Mostly.
Lady Vivian's map is so old, it's hard to tell which way is up. But if I'm right, we're not far from a village called Eastla.
Then we make our way there, resupply, and wait for Joshua.
Well, I think we'll just leave it on this cliffhanger right here. And, go ahead and wrap up for the night. Thank y'all for tuning in again another week. We will return next week, and more than likely, I think we'll be getting very close to at least wrapping up the main story and, like, on to DLC and stuff. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yes, let's find a good raid target. Let's raid over. No, it's been up for 9 hours. That probably is ending soon. I'll raid over here again. We've raided here once before, but oh well.